All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us again this week.
Good morning. Happy after 4th of July. Hopefully, y'all had some really good time with your family and friends and celebrate our National Independence Day this past weekend.
Barbecue and beer kind of thing. No, sorry, it's
Hot
not inner
dogs.
redneck coming out. But it's July 6th now, and so we hope that you guys had a very nice 4th of July holiday. Now that we're in starting off a new week, so we did want to kind of do a little throwback out to July 4th. So my name is Alan Richard. I'm the managing broker at Maximum One. This is
Ming Richardson, the compliance broker for Maximum One Realty Partner and Realtor Partners.
And this is our weekly edition of the Real Estate Backstory, where we go over the soft underbelly of the real estate world and here in the Atlanta markets kind of thing. So today's July 6th. It's also International Kissing Day.
Aww.
I know, we're married, so I can do it.
Corona.
Oh, wow. All right, never mind. Okay. Save lives. All right, we're going to just kind of jump on in here right now. So this week at training, so we have a CE class on Thursday and Friday this week. These are virtual classes. You can catch them on mx1training.com. On Thursday, my lovely bride will be teaching.
2020 RE form contracts. A lot of y'all feel left out. I teach a lot of GAR products, so we rarely do RE. But RE did update their form this year, so I would like for all of y'all to get to know the RE form, especially with my GAR agents, that sometimes you will get offers through RE form. Understand the difference between RE and GAR is important because there are certain stipulations in there that are not given and RE and vice versa with GAR. So it's important to know the difference of the two.
Yeah, similar but different. So, all right, and then Friday, Lynn Linton is going to be teaching lead generation in today's market. So if you'd like those classes, please join us. You can sign up on mx1training.com. Tech Thursday this week is going to be using your agent app, and so you can sign up this Thursday, or you can also catch the replays on Real Estate Backstory, also on Workplace, that kind of thing. But we're going to be going over the agent app and how to get into the back end of it and how to really use it and that kind of stuff. So each Thursday we go over a different piece of technology, not one that is necessarily just designed for Max One agents, but industry tech as well, kind of thing. So each week we cover all the kind of stuff that we're going over.
So join Warworth this week. And I apologize. Our class is actually Wednesday and Thursday, so it's not Thursday and Friday.
Okay. So back here.
Back up.
Apparently, Alan doesn't know his dates or his days, so it's Thursday and Friday. I mean, Wednesday and Friday.
Wednesday and Friday.
I said it the wrong way again. But yes, Tammy kind of saved me. So Wednesday and Friday. So you're teaching on Wednesday, not Thursday.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry about that. All right. Let's keep moving on, kind of thing. So, in honor of the 4th of July, homeownership is one of the greatest kinds of freedom that there is, and it should be for everyone. There was a new report that just came out, and it says that the Black ownership rate in a majority of major cities, well, actually in every major city with the exception of 2, the Black homeownership rate has declined. Like here in Atlanta in 2012, black homeownership rate was 52%. Now it's 47%. So the black homeownership rate, it's hard for me to say today, has dropped 5%.
It's basically declined. And, a lot of it has to do with education. They do have the cash. They just don't know what they need to do. So, agents out there, I encourage you to host your Zoom first-time home buyer seminars. If you don't have a lender that will partner up with you, let me know. We have multiple lenders that would love to do that with you. So we want to educate our community and let them know how easy it is to get a home. Sometimes it may be today or 6 months or a year down the road, but whatever that is, this is their legacy. This is their wealth building. So we want them to take part of that in our community.
Right. The thing is that, roughly 75% of white families own their home, only 47% of black families own their home. That's something that we can do to fix. we know that wealth in the United States is wrapped up in home ownership. And so if you really want to help the African American community, then we need to help them buy more homes. And that really comes down to education on a lot of things. It's not about the money. It's about how to build wealth long term. And so this is a really important thing. And so, I'm instead of just talking about equality, I really want to do something about it. And that's one of the best things that I, as a realtor, can do is that I can help, bring those numbers closer together. I think they should be very, very, so there's always going to be a percentage that rents,
Absolutely.
and for those of us that are landlords, that's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. But on the other hand, we know that true wealth is for the U.S. is built up in that. So we're going to start off in that education thing, 5 things that I'd like for you to try and reach out into your clients this week and talk about. And especially when it comes to
Credit building.
Right, exactly. So, there's 5 big myths that people think about when they're building credit or trying to build credit, and they don't understand how doing certain things. And so, the first one is, I just close any old accounts, and that's going to help my credit.
No,
Wrong.
it
Okay?
actually will put degrade your credit, because your old credit is actually stability of how you've been doing over the years. So the longer the credit history, the better off you are. So when you close an old account, even though you rarely use it, if I were you, I'd charge a gas, and then pay it off every month. Have it set up as an automatic payment every month. And you know what? That's going to raise your credit score more than you know what to do with.
Well, the other challenge that goes with that is when you close an old account, see, it's based on how much credit do you have versus how much you're actually using. And if you have this account with $1,000 of possible credit on there, and you close that, well, now you have $1,000 less credit. That's going to lower your score. So necessarily closing old accounts don't really help.
Right.
The second one is that all debt is treated equally on a credit report, and it's not. Okay, it isn't. Long-term debt versus short-term debt; those are different types of debt, and they're gonna affect that score differently. So you might be able to go in and if they get one item taken off, it could make a massive improvement in their credit score as opposed to something else. So just understand that not all debt is necessarily created equal on there. The third one is that credit repair companies can help improve my credit. And this is a true and false, okay? Because unfortunately, a lot of people think that credit repair companies are the end all be all. And, a credit repair company, can they help you? Yes, but you have to be very clear in how that goes forward. And when I say that, how can they help you? They can't do it for you. There isn't a magic pill. There isn't a magic bullet for this kind of thing. If you don't pay your bills, your credit isn't going to do anything. So credit repair companies can help you. They can, but it's still on you. I don't care who you are. You've got to, the credit is yours.
You gotta follow the program at the end of the day. And we all have wants and needs and desires, and very spontaneous sometimes. Just understand your spontaneousness may cause your credit worthy down the line if you can't stick with the plan, or it may make your plan a little longer to achieve than the shorter term.
Number 4.
All right, paying off a collection or debt, remove it from my credit report. You guys, your credit report stays on your credit report for 7 years, okay? So anytime you have any late payment within the last 7 years is going to show. It may not show the most recent one, but it's going to show that you were late 1 or 2 or 3 times over 30 days. So that will stay 7 years. Now, it is okay for you to look at your credit report and see if there's anything that looks fishy. You have the right to dispute it, and the credit bureau has to respond back to you within a certain amount of day. So that's one way to kind of clean up your credit, so to speak. If you would just go in there and see what is currently in your credit report and see what is disputable, and go from there.
And then the last one is that my relationship status, my employment status, divorce are reflected on my credit report. They're not.
Nope.
Now, they may be on your credit application if
Mm-hmm.
you're applying for a mortgage kind of thing, but income, employment, relationship status, that's not part of your credit report. And so, like, if you're going through a divorce, or if you've gone through a divorce and your partner still has the ability to affect your credit, well, that doesn't show up anywhere on the credit
Mm-hmm.
report. So those are things that you got to be very careful of. Now, one other thing, especially when we start talking about credit reports, my general rule of thumb is don't look at them. You don't need to be in your client's credit report itself. That doesn't mean that you can't give really great advice. It doesn't mean that you can't assist them and talk to them about these things, but you should not be looking over their credit report and going back through there, because if something negative happens on their credit, guess who they're blaming? You. So stay away from it, but do offer really good advice.
Well,
on those kind of things.
the lender should be the one to talk to the client about what they can do to bring a credit score up. So leave that, partner up with a good lender, and they should be able to help your client that way as well.
Yep.
Okay.
So
we just came out with a brand new buyer service recommendations, and it's a little more extensive than the probably 7 or 8 that I had previously. And this is due to some of the recent issues that has come along, and it may not be pertaining to you, but at some point in your career, you're going to hit one of these items.
Well, the thing is it hasn't really hit us, and we've been very blessed. We don't have any agents that have been sued for these kind of things, but this is one of those things that it's a double-edged sword, because on one hand, we want to make sure that we're offering all these services to our clients, but we don't want to get sued because a client chooses not to do that. The industry has had issues where, after someone buys a home, they come back and say, well, my agent never told me.
Right.
And so when you use the buyer service recommendations, you go in, you put in the address, you put down, you let your client go through and you explain all these items to them, and it's a yes or no kind of thing. And then they sign it at the end and you sign it at the end. And so there's none of this like, well, my agent didn't tell me I need to have a home inspection. I didn't even know I could get a radon report. Those kind of things. And so I'm sorry, I kind of stole your thunder a little bit.
So it's uploading the back end of paperless pipeline in the reference section. So if you type in service recommendation, that file should pop up on the search. So these are a couple of things: termites, inspection, home warranty. I have the roof inspected. I know that sounds weird, but chalet shingle is with defective shingles, and not everybody knows about those.
Most of the time, your home inspector will pick up on these.
9 out of 10,
Some of these are
certified.
additional inspections.
Right.
Should you need it, should the inspector say something happened, kind of thing, or identify a potential issue and explain it that way. If your main home inspector thinks something, we might have to go into more detail to get more information.
Right. And radon is for basement and mold and lead base, only if a house was built prior to 1978. Asbestos, I mean, some people, we have clients of all walks and that we get exposed to. So you never know what is a priority for them. So we're just trying to hit all these buttons and make sure that we're covering ourselves. At the same time, educate our client, let them know that these are concerns. We're not trying to scare the client, okay? That's absolutely not what we're trying to do. But we also try to educate them, let them make an informed decision. At the end of the day, as well, it protects you and also the client. Okay.
Yeah. So these are great things to also have that conversation. When you go over this list with a client, they're like, man, my agent really knows what's going on. And it shows our care and our concern for our clients in advance.
Right.
So
just like Keisha can tell you this, when she look at the paperless pipeline, she'll look at a file, she can tell you who's a good agent. Because when we look at your file and everything, if you dot all your I's, cross all your T's, we know you know exactly what you're doing. But when we're looking at certain things, the obvious are missing, and then we know either you didn't take the time or you don't know what it means. And that tells me that the other agent may not know this particular, hasn't been in the industry long. Okay. And so, zoning, is one of those large things that people, as they move in a rural area, that may be an issue for some people when they want to have fencing yard and stuff like that.
Or like, I want to build this here.
Right.
Well, like, we don't affect zoning. We help you find the house, but this is a chance for you to go through and say, listen, you need to check with P&Z on this and find out if planning and zoning has any plans on here, kind of thing.
Right. And also hazardous insurance, you know,
is flood insurance required, right, that kind of stuff.
Because this can take your insurance up to 3 times the normal rate, and that makes the equity debt ratio, it matters.
Right. So, it could be $300 or $400 a month.
Right. We have one that couldn't close probably 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Because they found out the property was sitting on flood zone plain, and they couldn't close because the insurance was 3 times the amount.
Yep. So anyway, there's a whole lot of different choices. There's also some places to write things in, like if the property has a well, those kind of things.
Right.
So sometimes there's some things that you can't always prepare for. So that's in there as well.
So anyway, just want to make sure this should be part of your consultation when you first meet your client. And if you explain all these things, your client, I try not to overwhelm them with information. I try to go over as we proceed and progress with the loan. So this is a good thing that you have up front.
Yep. Very good. All right. Each week we pull out all the news articles from what's going on in our industry and everything going on. So we're just going to kind of jump into our news here. Whoops, let's
backwards.
go the right way. So first thing, here's our broken record. Mortgage rates are continuing to decline. This has really been a great thing for us.
This is incredible, y'all.
So, our rates are continuing to go down, down, down. This is part of the reason why the real estate market is on fire right now. Is because our buyers are getting great value for their money right now. It really is a great time to buy homes
and sell
and sell. I mean,
this is
great on both sides. Yeah.
Inventory is so low right now, and also the buyers getting phenomenal rates right now.
I mean, I don't ever see us seeing rates like this again in our lifetime. And so if you're going to buy a home, if you get anyone interested in buying homes, now's a really great time to do. They're going to get so much more value for their money right now.
Absolutely.
So FICO has decided that they're going to look at expanding how mortgage lending works as well. Last week CFPB said that they'd like to see FICO kind of reevaluate their score some, and so this week FICO said, yeah, we're going to look at it. Now this is not going back to the things that created the 2008 crash. We're not talking about no doc loans and that kind of stuff. But what we are, or what they're looking at is, a 680 borrower, might actually be better than a 720 because of how the FICO index works, kind of thing. And so, if you're buying a home and you got a 680 versus a 720, that could be a point or 2 or a point and a half at least in credit. I mean, in what your interest rate runs. And so, this should also help other people that are, because a lot of times we have people that are really doing a good job in their credit, but they just haven't got there yet, kind of thing. And this new FICO index is designed to help get more people who really can buy properly and maintain into a home. And so we're excited about that. Jobs report came out, and June jobs report was really, really strong. We added about 5 million jobs in June, which is phenomenal.
That's huge.
It's one of the biggest gains ever. At the same time, yes, unemployment is still outrageously high, and it continues to be a concern for our economy overall. The good part is that in a month, it dropped over 2%. So it went from 13.3 to 11.1. We're still in double digit. It's still not great. I don't mean that things are good, but by the same token, we're seeing the decline. We're seeing it continue to improve as it goes along. Listings are a booger right now. So when I'm just being straight up, like we need more listings.
Absolutely.
This shows what's happened on listings over the last 4 weeks, and this is on national numbers. So 4 weeks ago, we were down 25% from last year in the number of listings, and 27. This past week, we were down 30% versus last year on the number of listings on the market. At the same time, we're seeing days on market decline, and we're seeing median list prices move up. I mean, we're seeing a shift of 2% in weeks. That is pretty massive. Our concern there is that when we see these kind of jumps in median list price, we see appraisal issues.
Yes.
And so you need to make sure you're having that conversation with your clients, because things are looking really good. If you got a good priced home in a good neighborhood, it's going to move, and it's going to move well. And so sometimes our sellers are getting a little bit greedy, and not saying that it may not be worth that, but you need to have that conversation on the front end. At the end of the day, if it doesn't appraise, it doesn't sell. Most of your buyers don't have the ability to just bring that difference in cash. And so that's what would be normally required, kind of thing. So this is something just to have a conversation with.
Listen, agent, if I were you, I would go ahead and pull out all your comps and leave it on the counter for the appraiser when they come in. This will help them to see why you feel, or the home seller feel, their home is worth more. Whether it's a brand new HVAC, brand new water heater tank, whatever rehab that you have done, list all that. It will only help your appraisal.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Again, it's another graph showing where U.S. inventory levels on both new listings and year over year are compared to last year and our historical trends. So you can see that this is, we are drastically down from where we are. In the Atlanta market itself, of course, home sellers right now are the missing link in our recovery. In Atlanta, nationally, year over year listings was down about 30%. We're at 27.5% less new listings or active listings than we had last year. This is a big deal for us, and continues to be one of those things that this is what can stall us on our recovery right now. So we need to continue to, we need to be looking for people to sell homes, kind of thing, and buy homes at the same time. This came out from Zillow. New pending, this is on the positive side of things, because new pending sales are also up about 25%. And also we're starting to see more listings taken. This is Zillow's June report. And so Zillow said that more sellers are looking at putting their home on the market right now. That's up about 20%, which we need so badly. The thing about, what's going on with COVID, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not trying to say anything about that. I think that we're going to see a lot more mask use going on, but more and more people, even though we're wearing masks more, we're starting to see more sellers opening their homes up and being open to listing their homes. So that to me is something that we really need if we're going to keep this level going. As far as agents go, this is from HomeSnap. This is their National Agent Confidence Index kind of thing, which kind of shows what our confidence level as an industry is. And as an industry, we are as high as we've actually been in a long time.
Yeah.
So we're feeling much more optimistic about where things are. The market itself is not in great shape. Our economy is not in phenomenal shape. The real estate market, on the other hand, is pretty much on fire. It's a great time to sell. It's a great time to buy. This is one of those rare instances where it's a really good time to buy and a really good time to sell. With the interest rates as low as it are, and inventory is where it is, it's great for both our buyers and our sellers right now. And so that's a really good time for us. And so we need to be ready to kind of jump on that. Here in the South, this is pending home sales, which one thing I really like about this is pending home sales. Pending home sales is an indicator of what's going on, what's going to happen over the next 2 or 3 months.
Right.
Traditionally fall tapers off for us. Right now we're in the middle, summer's here.
Summer,
oh
right.
yeah. The heat is here. Welcome to Georgia. But the good news is that pending sales keeps trending up. Right here in the South, we're at 125%. Versus last year, kind of thing. We're actually the largest region.
Growth, actually.
Yeah, growth region out there, kind of thing, in the nation. So this is a really good place for us to be right now. But we're going to talk more about it. But it looks like fall is going to be a really good time for us as well.
And if you look everywhere else, they have decreased versus increase.
Yeah. So if you deferred your tax payment on April 15th, guess what? July 15th is coming up. The IRS said, guess what? We're not changing this time. So you got to pay by July 15th. So if you did defer, you got till July 15th to do that. Fannie and Freddie, FHA, basically have extended aid to landlords and hopefully to the renters as well. The whole idea is that if you have renters that if you were a landlord, you had renters that were hit hard by COVID, that you could get help. And so that's basically, it does help the landlords, but the landlords then, if they take this, they cannot evict the renters on the other hand. So, this is really aimed at helping both the landlords and the renters at the same time. The Supreme Court ruled on CFPB this past week. And so CFPB is the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau kind of thing. And they oversee a lot of what we do, lenders do, that kind of thing. And really what this whole thing really wraps down to is kind of like the IRS, the CFPB didn't have a boss or didn't have to answer to anyone. Like they were their own entity. And so according to the Supreme Court now, the director of the CFPB now answers to the sitting president. Is kind of how where that's gonna unfold kind of thing. Because up to now, CFPB could pretty much do whatever they wanted. They were kind of like untouchable to a certain extent. And if you didn't like what they ruled or you didn't like the direction they were going, well, it's tough being you kind of thing. And so now they have someone that they have to answer to is really what that kind of means at the end of the day. We're seeing that bigger homes and square footage is making a comeback kind of thing. For a number of years, we had seen people talking about downsizing and especially in the luxury home market and the larger homes, kind of downsizing, going to smaller, nicer places, that kind of thing, and not anymore. Ever since the COVID thing has happened, bigger is better, baby, kind of thing is kind of been the approach here. One other new thing that we're starting to see is upgraded air conditioners. Expect to see this as being a selling tool in the future. Right now, when it comes time for the malls to reopen, for
public,
the large public venues, that kind of stuff, they're going to have some kind of HEPA filters is going to be one of the things that's going on. So movie theaters, malls, things like that. These are the commercial, but we are expecting this to be a real big selling feature for single family homes in the future as well.
Right.
So look for these kind of upgrades to be going on. We're already starting to see these come out as upgrades with the new builders. The builders are already jumping in on this and offering this as an upgrade on their new construction homes. And if you have clients and you're representing them, ask for this, because this is one of those features that kind of makes people feel better kind of thing. They have the different UV stuff. They have the HEPA filters. There's all kinds of new technology that you can use in the AC that helps freshen the air and that kind of stuff. It just makes people feel better, but expect to see a lot more of that. The PPP is going to be extended again. It looks like Trump is probably going to sign off on it. If you did not take part of it, it still has like $130 million in it or something like that kind of thing. I'm sorry, $130 billion is that's kind of a different number. Yeah, billion versus million is a little different, Alan. But if you did not take advantage of it, and if you wanted to find out more information, if you go to NAR Realtor /coronavirus
US.
No, SBA. Coronavirus SBA. It looks really hard. It's all right there kind of thing. Go check out and see if you do qualify. And if this is something that could assist you or your business kind of thing. They have different graphs. They have all the different parameters on how you would do it and that kind of stuff. And since there's still money out there, if you qualify, go find out if you qualify and if this is something that's the right choice for your business kind of thing. So one thing that we're seeing, okay, you're in Georgia, so if so close to hell you can see the sparks kind of thing. It gets hot here, but we love our backyards and we love outdoor living. This is a great selling feature, so we need to take advantage of this feature. And another thing we're seeing is that our buyers are very interested in this. And so, you know, if you want to help your listing sell even better kind of thing, you know, we're seeing more and more. Patio day beds are a big deal. Small outdoor furniture, backyard bars, really bright colors in the backyard. That's something that's really big. We're seeing fences painted a lot more so than we have. Outdoor tiles and outdoor tiling. Of course, fire pits. Fire pits are a big thing. Now, I don't know why you'd have a fire pit right now because it's already hot. But hey, you know, the fall will be coming again, kind of thing. Winter's coming. Sorry, my Game of Thrones flashback there.
Oh, so there's a new website. It's called floodfactor.com. And what it does, you can go in there and plug in any property address. Now, it'll give you very detail about the property, whether or not they're in a flood zone plain.
Well, not only that, this is, you know, most of the government flood maps are out of date. And so this is going to show you more up-to-date flood mapping information, and it's going to tell you just how much risk that your property could have. In the past, it was really hard to point a consumer to a place, and now this is a consumer-focused website kind of thing where you can go check it out for your clients, but you can send your clients here to say, here's where you can go do it. They're going to show you where, you know, what level of risk it has, where it falls on the map, the whole 9 yards, and it's completely free. Free 99, y'all. So. All right, we are looking for NAR to update the Code of Ethics. They announced last week that, you know, in light of recent complaints at the local, state, and national level, that they are going to be reviewing the Code of Ethics. And so expect to see that. We're continuing to see, especially like in social media, agents are paying the consequences for saying stupid things online kind of thing. So just this past week here in Atlanta, we had a Keller Williams agent that got fired because he compared gay people to murderers kind of thing. And so that's not really a great place to be. You know, if you are going to choose to, and again, this is you know, we've talked about this into a great deal. Yes, you can be political if you choose to, but if you choose to go the political route, you're going to, you have the opportunity to aggravate or lose half of your potential clients.
Or
kind of thing.
You have the ability to promote home ownership, because at the end of the day, we're here to promote home ownership. We're not here to give our personal advice about certain things when it really doesn't matter.
Hate has no home here.
Absolutely.
And so, well, you know, we as a brokerage aren't going to take it. I can tell you that NAR is taking a real firm stand on it. And so you just got to be really smart about what you're doing on there, because it has consequences. So we kind of want to wrap up today with talking about what's the rest of the year going to look like.
This year has been weird. Starting off weird.
Oh, it's been,
and then
COVID
hit, and then now summer.
So it's been a goofy ride to say the least, probably on there. And so we're going to kind of go over what the experts are saying, and then we're going to pull out our crystal ball. And so you know, as far as for like mortgage purchase applications, you know, this is the Associate VP of Economic and Industry Forecasting. This is MBA, Mortgage Bankers Association. And it says that the housing, you know, he said the housing recovery happened much faster than they expected. They were expecting Q3 to be down a little bit, but that's not the case. They've actually increased it and said it's going to see a 2% increase in growth this year. And so that's a big shift in what they were originally saying to what they are now, kind of thing. This is from the National Association of Realtors. Lawrence Yun, I like him. He has some really, I like how he thinks on a lot of things, kind of thing. So, you know, the home sales will surely rise in the upcoming months with the economy reopening as we continue, you know, as it continues to settle down more. We keep seeing that the stronger the economy becomes, especially with these really great interest rates, the stronger the housing market is, kind of thing. And so this is the senior economist for Realtor.com. That, you know, they're projecting in the next few months a slow, steady improvement in new inventory, and that's very important because we need inventory right now. One of the inventory levels is one of the things that actually stands to slow our growth right now. We need the builders on coming into the marketplace and that kind of thing.
Right.
And so we are looking at, they kind of think that we'll return to normal in, September through December. I'm not sure I'm fully on that, just because things are going really, really good. Now we are in the national election, and that's always got things there's always going to throw things into the mix. Freddie Mac, as far as on mortgage rates, they said that the 30-year fixed rate is going to remain low into 2020 and 2021. And so,
it looks like it's even decreasing in 2021.
Yeah, they're looking for it to drop next year.
On the average. So that's a beautiful thing, y'all. Because I know back in March and April, everybody's rates went up.
Yep.
I mean, it went up huge.
Yeah, and so if we run through 2021 at a 3.2,
that's great.
Hey guys, strap on.
Great time to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as far as new construction, we did see a decline in new construction, we saw it in starts, but mainly driven by staffing and subs more so than anything kind of thing. Right now the builders are looking at a significant acceleration in new construction is likely going to incur. And that's something that we need with these interest rates. We need new construction. And for me, the builders are a double-edged sword. Like, on one hand, they aggravate me, and sometimes I feel like they're trying to take advantage of our folks. But on the other hand, I really need them, because that starts the entire process happening. They build a house, someone sells their house, moves into that, someone can move into that house, and now and so it kind of starts the whole thing moving on kind of thing. So I need new construction, and it looks like our builders are going to be ramping up, and that's something that we're really, really excited about. We're continuing to see home prices are appreciating kind of thing. And so these are all the different groups. And so we have a survey, we have the Mortgage Bankers Association, Fannie Mae, National Association of Realtors, Freddie Mac. And you can see that, everyone, was expecting 2020, the prices to be down a little bit.
Right.
That's not reality. And so MBA is looking at, 4 to 3% over the next year kind of thing. I mean, we're not looking at prices declining. And so this
we just hope that the appraiser will catch up, because honestly, they're going to be the biggest key to these, increased price.
Right. So, moving forward, we're looking at summer continuing to be a bit of a wild ride. And even into the fall, we are really looking at probably one of the best fall times that we've ever had, actually, kind of thing. Things are looking really good. It's a great time to be a seller. It's also a great time to be a buyer. And if you have your sellers, you need to have your sellers be a buyer first, or you're going to make them homeless the way things are going right now.
Yeah.
So we are looking at a really, really strong fall is kind of what Ming and I are truly feeling like right now. I know that we feel very optimistic about what's going on with the market. And I know that always the news is not always showing great, but here in the Atlanta area, I just can't see anything really that, there are always things that could happen. Could coronavirus still jump back up and the government shut everything down? It could happen. My personal feeling is I think we're going to start seeing mask use really be mandated much more kind of thing is one thing that we're kind of expecting to see. And so, we're trying to do our part as well. I'd much rather wear a mask than I would to see the economy get crushed. And so, or to get the economy shut down again. So I'll wear a mask kind of thing. Anyway. So now we're into accountability. Our weekly accountability, if you haven't taken part of it, please do. We ask that you jump in. We had more folks that started off in the beginning, and then we've had some folks that have kind of fizzled out. And so I need you to get your act back together and get in there kind of thing. Because if you're serious about trying to grow your business, this is one of those groups that can truly help you. So it meets every Thursday. Over Zoom. I'm sorry, every Tuesday over Zoom. I cannot get my days right today.
That'll be tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Keisha will be running the show kind of thing. So, please connect with us. We're here if we can be of any kind of service. call, text, smoke signals. We answer it all. We love and appreciate you. And if we can be of any kind of service, please let us know.
Yes, thank you very much. And let us know if we can do anything for you.
Deuces.
Take care. Have a good week.